Hi, I'm Paula from Paula's DIY Decor and welcome to my channel. I'm the crafter from Down Under and today I'm super excited to bring to you my final Australia Day series, the Australia Day Tablescape. With Australia Day just around the corner, I've got 4 fabulous DIYs to share with you, with my first DIY being how to make these gorgeous felt roses to embellish a candle. Now, I did lose my footage for this particular first DIY, but what you're going to need are some felt sheets. I got them in red, blue and white, some scissors and some glue. Now, to make felt roses couldn't be easier. All you have to do is cut a circular shape and then using your scissors, just go in about 1/2 inch and go around the inside of the circle and then leave yourself just the tiniest bit of felt at the end. When you've finished cutting in a circular motion, then you're just going to roll the felt into itself, pop on some glue at the end, and the little piece that you leave at the end forms a nice little base for you to use as a rose. And there you have it. It couldn't be more simple. A beautiful felt rose. Now, what I wanted to do was I wanted to embellish some candles for my Australia Day tablescape. So I picked out 3 types of ribbon, this beautiful lace cream or white ribbon, some lovely red ribbon, and some blue ribbon with little polka dots on them, which for me symbolises the Southern Cross stars on our Australian flag. And I just layered the ribbons on top of each other and using some super glue just adhered them to the candle. Layering ribbons on a candle is always a nice way to brighten up your candles, especially if you're making a tablescape. So you can use any type of ribbon that you like to just bring some life to your candle and create a unique design for your tablescape. And then I added the felt roses to the ribbon, just using some super glue, and I just embellished those roses with some beautiful blue flowers, and then I added a little toothpick Australian flag, and there you have it, a beautiful felt rose embellished candle for an Australian Day tablescape. For my second DIY, I'd like to share with you how I made these beautiful Australia Day inspired ribbon coasters. I always believe that coasters add some extra pizzazz to your tablescape, so you're just going to need 3 different ribbons, red, white and blue, some white paint and some Mod Podge. So to get started, I just used these coasters that I picked up from my local craft store. They're just, I think they're MDF coasters, and I just layered them with some white acrylic. Once they were dry, then I used my Mod Podge to adhere the 3 different ribbons onto the coasters. Now, when you're using ribbon to adorn your coasters, it's really important to use ribbons that are fairly flat, because you are going to be laying a glass or a wine glass or a tumbler onto that coaster, and you don't want it to be bumpy so that the glass is unstable on your table. So once you've selected your ribbons, and in my case I've got this gorgeous lace ribbon, the red ribbon and the blue polka dotted ribbon, I just arranged them with some Mod Podge. I laid down a nice healthy dose of Mod Podge onto the coaster, and I just arranged my ribbons the way that I liked it. So on the Australian flag, on the left hand side of the flag we've got the red and white Union Jack, and then on the right hand side of our flag we've got the Southern Cross stars on a nice navy blue background. So I'm trying to emulate that design using these ribbons on the coaster. And then once you've laid down the ribbons, then you're going to use your Mod Podge again, and you're going to give those ribbons a nice healthy dose of Mod Podge, not to just keep it secured onto the coaster, but also to give it a nice hard surface for your glass. Then once you're done, flip them over, chop off, using your scissors, cut off any excess, and there you go. These beautiful Australia Day inspired ribbon coasters, sure to add some absolute beauty to your tablescape. this third DIY, I'd like to share with you how I made these adorable Australia Day napkin rings. For me, a tablescape is all about the detail. Coasters, napkin rings, not just the centerpieces, the way you layer your plates. So for this particular DIY, I am upcycling my Christmas napkin rings. So I'll put a link in the description box below as to how I made these beautiful rustic Christmas table napkin rings. All I did was I pulled off the tops of them. There was a Christmas tree and a little cotton flower. I pulled them off because I only used hot glue to adhere them. And again, using the 3 ribbons that we have been using as part of this entire DIY series for Australia Day Tablescape, I then wanted to create and layer 3 bows on top of each other. So starting with the beautiful lace ribbon, I just curled that ribbon and created a circle using some hot glue, and then I just put a dab of glue in the center to create a bow. Did the same thing with the red ribbon, so just curled the ribbon around to create a circle and then added a dab of glue in the center so that it looks like a little bow. Same with the blue ribbon, and then using a dab of hot glue in the center of the lace ribbon and again in the center of the red ribbon, I adhered and layered all 3 ribbons together to create a triple bow. And then by adding a little bit of hot glue onto the original napkin ring, I now have an upcycled beautiful napkin ring that I can reuse for Australia Day. But of course I couldn't stop there, and using the felt roses that we created in the first DIY, I thought I would add another felt rose to the center of this napkin ring, and I thought it looked so cute, so pretty, but also really decorative for my Australia Day tablescape. So using all 3 felt roses, I've now got red, blue and white tape napkin ring holders. And here I'm just showing you how you can use these napkin ring holders with your napkins. Again, I've used my red napkins that I saved from my Christmas tablescape and laid it on top of a beautiful set of salad plates with a kind of a blue chinoiserie design. Turned out absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really happy with it. So for the 4th DIY, I also, where I can, like to embellish my tablescape with seasonal decor cushions. These are super easy to make. All you're going to need is an Australian flag that I picked up from a discount store, some red ribbon and some pillow stuffing. So the Australia Day flag is about 35 centimetres by 65 centimetres, and you're going to need 2 of those flags. And the first thing you're going to do is take out the flagpole, which is pretty easy because that's not secured, and then I just cut off the sewing where it held the flagpole so that it was just the design of the flag. And then by arranging the flags in opposite directions for each other, because remember, once you glue your material together, you need to flip it inside out, and I need to make sure that the Union Jack is on the left-hand side of our flag. Then you're just going to use your hot glue, and you're simply going to glue the sides of the flag together. The material is kind of like a synthetic polyester, so it'll go really well outside. These are going to be outdoor cushions, and my tablescape has been designed for an outdoor setting, so they're absolutely perfect for the design of my entire tablescape. So here you can see me stuffing the cushion in with it's actually some old, it's a great way to use any old pillows that you want to throw out. Just use the stuffing from the inside of the pillow. And I just made my cushion and then folded the inside of the last section of the cushion and then glued it together. To make the cushion a little bit more sophisticated, and so that it doesn't look like I've put 2 flags together, I just used some more of that beautiful red ribbon. I found this red ribbon at Lincraft, which is it's a crafting store here in Australia, and I just hot glued the ribbon on the side of the cushion, and boy, what a difference it made to the cushion. It actually gave it a slightly more sophisticated feel. It was interesting. You couldn't see the seams that I had glued together. I just thought it brought the entire cushion together. finished the DIYs, here's my absolute favourite part of this series, and that's putting the tablescape together. So what I did with this Australia Day tablescape this year was I layered and layered. I used lots of layers, lots of texture. You can see me here using a table runner, a checkered table runner, red and white check table runner, and then I used this beautiful silky, satiny, dark blue piece of material that I created for last year's Australia Day decorations and tablescape, and I simply layered it by scrunching it together. Now I wanted to give the table not just an elegant feel but a more down-to-earth sort of look, so I did use my rattan chargers, as well as some beautiful red charger plates as well to start to layer this tablescape. The red chargers I used as part of the Christmas tablescape. Red always comes in handy in my household. And then I found these beautiful blue and white chinoiserie inspired dinner plates at TK Maxx. I was very, very impressed with them. And then I used some wicker salad plates. They're kind of like charger plates for salad plates, which is really interesting, and that tied in with the rattan table chargers or plate chargers. And then I also found these gorgeous navy and white chinoiserie inspired salad plates, which I thought would go really nice with this particular design. And then using those beautiful napkin holders that we created earlier, and the glass coasters, some beautiful gold cutlery, you really start to build out your tablescape. And you can see the centerpieces that we created in the first part of my Australia Day series. Bring it all together with your candles. I thought I needed a little bit more greenery, so I used some of my green garland that I had in my craft room. They had already inbuilt some beautiful little twinkle fairy lights, and there you have it, a beautiful Australia Day tablescape that you can replicate in your home for next to nothing. Unfortunately at the moment our weather's been very rainy, so I wasn't able to get some beautiful yellow wattles to put onto my table. I do like to use our native plants, but our weather's been a little crazy this summer and the plants haven't come out as they normally do, so I had to dig deep, use the florals in my stash, and I still think it turned out absolutely gorgeous. It's very Australian, reflective, using the reflective of our flag, using the flag as inspiration for the red, white and blue, Union Jack, Southern Cross, and it's a great time to celebrate our great nation here in Australia. I hope I've inspired you with this tablescape to recreate your own. This is for my Aussie crafting community, my Aussie friends. Happy Australia Day. If you're liking this video and you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your ongoing messages, your inspirational messages, and those lovely comments that you leave me. I hope you have a great week. I really look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.